Okay, so hi everyone. So this is like a tutorial video or whatever that I'm going to be recording. This is going to first kind of go over everything that I went over class today, including the lab activity, and then in addition some additional skills and stuff like that in GIMP. So first, I just want to say the reason why I'm going over the lab activity today is because first, of course, a lot of you requested for a tutorial video, but also from what I can see from your lab activity submissions, a lot of people weren't very, um, not a lot of people, but a few or several of you weren't really comfortable. It seems from the skills that we went over, as you didn't yield the result that I kind of expected from you guys today. And also there was just a lot of things that I was a bit too ambitious about, so we weren't able to cover as well. And so I feel like, it's better just for me to go over the skills again. And if you want to redo the activity and be more comfortable with it, completely feel free to, and see if you yield the same results or even better from what you did in lab. Okay, so again, GIMP unit, I'm just going to go over the slides. So first, the things due. This is also going to be a video for the students that miss lab. So I will probably put a timestamp or something like that, like as a side note when I post this video, just so you guys can skip and don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. Okay, so the things due. So Unix simulation, which is kind of like the same format as the GIMP simulation that you just did. So it's due on the 9th, which is the day before lab, before 1:55. So you will basically download FileZilla, and then the simulation files in week 12 lab content. And so for Mac users and for PC users, when you open up the FileZilla download link, you immediately be able to locate the download link. But for Mac users, in order to find the download link, you would have to click on Show Additional Download Options, and then you'll locate the Mac OS download link. And again, like similar to GIMP simulation format, you just follow instructions thoroughly, and then you will also submit based on the submit your activity based on what it asks of you. And then also, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and utilize the resources, the resource of the Open Lab, which is that in general, or the one that I attend. So if you go to your La Lima page in ICS 101, in the overview page, there's this page with all the information. For example, my email, the time on my Open Lab, which on Tuesday 6 to 8, and then the link, and also the other Open Lab times with other TAs and LAs. I think Annie's Open Lab is on Wednesday, if I remember correctly, on 6 to 8. So yeah, and then I think Chelsea's on Thursday. No, Chelsea's on Friday. Yeah. But yeah. And then this is the link, so you just click on it and it'll open, and then yeah. Okay, anyways, so moving on, the week 11 lecture quiz, as always, every single week on Tuesday, before 11:55, and then your GIMP simulation, which is due in your digital Dropbox, not simulation, sorry, checklist, and it is due 2 days after lab. So by the time I post this, it will probably be like in the midnight time, so it'll probably be like 1 day after when this video is posted. But basically it's on the 5th, and there's no peer review, so it's just 2 days after lab, before 1:55. I mean 11:55. I'm so sorry. And so I went over this during class, but I'll go over it again. So there's an extra credit opportunity that comes along with your GIMP checklist. So basically, it will be your checklist submission would automatically be submitted into this contest. But if you do not want to participate, please let me know, and I will just not submit your checklist. But basically, or like your poster. So basically, your poster will go through. Your poster can possibly get 15 points max, extra credit. And so I will first pick the 10%, 10 overall percent, top 10% overall in my own lab, this section, and of all the submissions. And then after that, all the TAs from all the other sections would then vote on the overall best across all the labs, and then the students, aka you guys, would then vote on the best overall. And then a side note, there's no late submissions for this, so if you submit your checklist late, you will not be able to participate in this design contest. And then another extra credit opportunity. I'm pretty sure by the time I post this will not be available anymore. But yeah, it's due on the 11:55 on the 4th, which is, oh, actually it's tomorrow. I'm sorry. It's gonna be due tomorrow night. And then yeah, so if you'll be able to locate it in lecture materials in your La Lima. Moving on, what is GIMP? So GIMP is a image creation and editing software program. It is a GNU image manipulation program. Did I already say that? I think I already said that. And it's basically, GNU is basically a system free of copyrighted code. So it's a code, it is a program designed to operate on Unix, which is again a system free of copyrighted code. Examples of usage would be like simple paint programs like MS Paint. A lot of you may have used that before, or just like high quality full retouching mass production image renderer, which like for example Photoshop or Facetune, stuff like that. Some of you may be more familiar with, yeah, or like have even used. And then another thing that is like quite special about GIMP that a lot of image programs do not have would be the ability to make GIFs and animations, which we did, and I'll also be going over again during lab, and then again in the tutorial videos, and then many other like usages of GIMP. Okay, so aliasing and anti-aliasing. So aliasing is when a font of the resolution of a font is jagged and has steps, so you can see like little steps on the font, and so when the resolution is low. And then anti-aliasing would be when it's smoothed out, so you can't really see the pixels as like the edges as much because it's smoothed out by adding extra pixels. That's like a lighter coloring and it's not as contrasted. And so a scale would be like fuzzy select tool or bucket tool. Another something that's more related, so this will be like regarding fonts, and then regarding like paintbrushes, there's two types. So one would be when it's described by a grid of pixels, and it is resolution dependent, so best viewed at a particular zoom. So once it is painted or whatever, if you were to save the image and zoom in, pixelation can occur. And then vector would be described as geometric formulas, so it's line and shape, it's scalable and not resolution dependent, and you can zoom in without losing any quality. So I'll quickly show you guys. So one example would be the brushes. I'll go over the how everything works in GIMP, but you guys should already know. But again, so actually I'll just go over it right now. Okay, so if you open up GIMP, on the top bar is all of your options. So file, edit, select, view, image, layer, color, tools, filters, windows, help. And so you most likely be using tools a lot, maybe colors, layer quite often, but you can also do that right here, and then file, and etc, etc. And so that that's that. And then this is the shortcuts option. So for example, instead of having to go to tools, transform tools and move, you could just click on move right here, and then there's other toolbars right here that I might be using, but I might not, just depending on what ends up happening. But I'll try to go the longer way so you guys are more familiar with what each item is. But once you know how the icon looks like, you can start using the shortcuts. And also, when you know how a tool is selected, is one first you could like see by once it's selected, it should be like it should show right here, and also it would show in your bar right here like the details of your tool. So for example, if I had text, it would have all the details of the text, and then yeah. And so also when you have your cursor on your little format area, whatever, you can see that your cursor also has a little image icon right next to it. So right now I have on move, so the move image icon is that like little arrow that's pointing on all four sides. So yeah, so if I was to do like a text, it would have like the typing bar animation. If I had like intelligent scissors, it'll have the cutting scissor select, sorry, it would have the cutting like little scissor icon right next to it. So that's how you know. And then on your right of your screen, it has the paintbrushes and options that you have, and then also the layer. Another very important area would be your layer palette or whatever, which is right here. Anyways, so Let me show you what I was trying to show you guys. So first I'm gonna go to paintbrushes. You can first go to tools. You don't have to do this. I'll show you guys what you might want to do along, but I'm just showing you guys something right now. So paint tools, and then paintbrush, and then, or you can click right here, and then if you were to have something like this selected, it's blurred, so it would be more blurred out. And then if you were to pick something like this, it's like harder. So for example, if you click on this, the hardness is chosen at 0 point, not 0 point, is at 25. If you pick this, it will be at 100. So this means that this would be like more blurred and stuff like that. So you can't really see and you can't really tell because the image is not, if I was to save this image and zoom in and zoom out, you could probably start the drawing would start pixelating, but because it's in the image editing program, it wouldn't really like pixelate, but you can see that it's pixelating. I don't know if it would do the same. So yeah, see, it's not as it's jagged, and then this is just more blurred, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna zoom back out, and then I'm gonna show you guys the rest of the slides. Okay, and then lossy and lossless. So lossy is a way to store large files to its original form with a loss of some data. So basically it's a irreversible process, as if you were to make an image a lesser quality, you can't really restore the quality that you lost. An example of an image type storing that's a lossy image storing type would be JPEG, and the benefit of this image storing choice or type would be that it reduces the file size. So then, for example, if there's situations where you may have to, limit the size of the file, you could store it as a lossy instead of a lossless, but the quality of the image obviously will be lost. And then vice versa, lossless, you can store the file to its original form without any loss of data. The con would be that it's very space consuming, and the benefit would be that it would be like not exactly, just not exactly, oh my god. So it will basically store without any loss of data. Okay, and then the example you can see right here, so lossless, as you can tell, is more clear than lossy. Lossy has some loss of its data, so it's more pixelated, as lossless is not as pixelated. And then exported formulas, so these are different formulas. The first, most default one from GIMP would be XCF. And so basically when you save for example, if you save a file within GIMP, it would typically default as XCF, and so you're able, so that means that you're able to, or you can export it as that as well. And so basically you'll be able to edit your photos in GIMP again if you were to reopen this file. So for example, like the layers that you have right here, it would still remain, and other stuff like that. But if you were to store it as something, any of these, it would not be the same. So JPEG, JPEG is a joint photographic experts group, and it's an all-purpose image type. It is good for realistic photos, and it's a lossy compression. So it's good for realistic photos, as even if you lose some data type, it wouldn't be as dramatic, and you aren't losing as much of data, and it won't affect your image quality as much. But for something like PNG, sorry, it's called a portable network graphic, and it's a lossless compression, so it's more recommended for something like line drawings, or just something that you need kind of the quality to be pristine and exactly what you made it from, like the original file. Okay, and then at last would be GIFs, which would be graphic interchange format. You can, sorry, I pronounce it as GIF, but you're supposed to pronounce it as GIF. Anyways, and it's a lossless compression, so you do not lose any original data size, and it would be like an animation, which we'll be doing in lab today, or tutorial, because lab already finished. And then we have the clone and heal tool. So this is a lot of information to take in, but if you need to just refer back to these, you can. So actually, let's do everything, and then I'll just pull up the slide when it comes up. Oh, let's do the selection tools. So selection tools, there's a bunch. So if you go into your GIMP and you go to tools and selection tools, there's like a bunch of different selection tools, but some main ones would be like free select, which you are able to create the selection area based on a drawing. So you're like able to like use your cursor to kind of draw where you want to select. And then fuzzy select tool, which would be selecting areas similar to the color of the threshold scale. I'm pretty sure you guys use that in your simulation. Color select tool, which would be something that we'll be using today, and it will be basically selecting the area that matches the color chosen, regardless of where they're located. So if you have like a big image like this and you choose the white part, it would select the white part inside as well. Okay, and then going back to slides, and then scissor select tools, which is like would be selecting the regions by the strong color changes at the edges. So if you have something like this and like a rock and you're clicking on the edges for the scissor select, it would only select kind of like the edges between the white and the line that you have right there, because there's a strong contrast, if that makes any sense. And then moving on, so let me see if there's okay, so I would go to that in a bit. So let's get to the lab activity today. So today what we did is we first would go to okay, so I already did this, so let's just do it anyways, it doesn't matter. So I'll go to file, new, and here you can adjust the image size by adjusting the width and height, but I'm just gonna do with the default. And then also when you go to advanced options, you can adjust the resolution. So the resolution can also help with the size of your image, but also mess with, like, again, how your image quality is. And then you can change the color space, which I don't recommend changing. We're just gonna stick with RGB because that's what we're going to be using. And then just everything else, and then the background colors. So I'm just gonna go with white, that's what I recommend with, but transparency would have those grid thingies, if that makes any sense, but I'll show you guys in a bit when it comes up. And then foreground, background color, that will be what you choose here, what you have chosen here. So if I was to do background color, it would be white anyways, because currently my background color, which is the one behind the black one, so the black would be the foreground color, which would be something which would be the color of like a brush, because that would be the foreground, and then the background color would be white. So if I was the background color, it would just be white, but I'm just do white anyways, and then I'll click OK. So after we're done, I'm just gonna exit out what I had previously. I think that was what I had previously. Anywho, they're the same exact type, so it's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we are going to add a gradient to this image. So we are going to first go to tools, and then paint tools, and then gradient. And now you can see that your gradient tool selected and it's chosen for you, and you can change like the opacity, a lot of the details, but we're not going to mess with that. But we are going to mess with the colors. So right now the color is, first of all, you can tell that it's selected also by the icon. Okay, anyways, so right now our foreground and background color is white and black. So if I was to do the gradient, it would just be white and black. But we don't really want that, that's lame, that's ugly. So we're just going to do lavender for the foreground color. So if you can see from the bar right here, you can change the color by dragging the bar, and then you can change this arrow within that color range, if that makes any sense. And then you can also type in manually what you want your RGB code to be, but I don't want to deal with that. So we're gonna do like a bluish purple, and then we're gonna do like this color. Okay, and now it changes it, and then we're gonna do dark red. So it's already on red, so we're just gonna do that, and then change it to like a maroon-ish color. And then you're gonna click and drag. So the first point you click should be your foreground, and then the second point you click should be your background. So I want the bottom to start with purple and the top to start with red, to end with red. So I'm gonna click and then drag, and then so I did it, ta-da. And I just want to explain that these little points are where the color is most prevalent. So if I was to make them very close, the gradient would be not as like gradient-y, I guess, or like dragged out and stuff, or blended. But if I was to make them further away, the gradient will be, there's more of a gradient. So I want more purple to show because I like the color more, I guess. So I'm gonna put the red at the end and just make the purple a little more prevalent. And so as you can see, there's almost I don't know if you can tell as much because they're kind of a similar color scale, but there's more purple compared to red on this screen. Alright, and then yeah, so you can also like use like kind of the grid X and Y here to change your but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so that's good. And then after you are doing that, we're just going to open up an image as a layer. So you're going to first go to File, Open as Layer, and then you are going to also make sure you download the activity files, or else you won't be able to really do anything. So after you open that, you go to your activity files, and then you are going to open up shirts cartoon image as a layer. So after you open it, it's going to look like this, and then we're going to first remove this. Oh, actually no, we're going to first make this image larger. So you're going to go to Tools, Transformation Tools, and Scale. And so the easiest way to make sure that, since it's already imported into the center of the image, I'm just going to drag the top left corner onto the edge of the image, and then the bottom right corner onto the bottom of the image. So now it's still centered, and it's great. Or you can manually enter the thing, or yeah, but I'll typically just recommend doing that. Also, the lock means that it is the proportion of the image that you inserted. When you're adjusting it, it won't mess with it. Like, for example, if you were to unlock this and mess with this, it would be like ugly. So we're gonna Control Z, and then I want it to be lock, and then we're gonna scale. And so after we're done that, if it helps, sorry, let me click on that again. If it helps, this would be like kind of like the the size of the image that you want it to be. So yeah, you can like take a look at that. Okay, and then we're gonna scale, and then what we're going to do next is, we literally just made a gradient, and I feel like adding this shirt layer just completely ruins it because of the white, so we're just gonna remove the white. But instead of manually erasing all the white and like having to be super careful around, oh no, like I erased a part of the shirt, you know what I mean? Instead of having to worry about that, we're going to use a very useful tool, which is the color select tool that I previously talked about, right over here. So we're going to select the area that matches the color chosen. So we want to choose white. So we'll go to Tools, Selection Tools, and Color Select. And we're just going to click on this, and also make sure that your draw mask is checked off, because I've used this program already. It's already checked off, but typically it's not checked off for you guys. But when you click on this image, it kind of shows you what has been, ooh, that's creepy, what has been selected. So I want the white part, so yeah, so that's the part that's chosen. After that, you can see that you know that it's been selected with color select. When you see this running ants animation around it, that means that's been selected. And then what you're going to do next is you are going to add an alpha channel. So I think I already did that because during class you weren't able to add it. So yeah, so I already added it, but if you were to remove it and erase, it would erase with the background color showing, if that makes any sense. So background, foreground, if I change the background color to like this a different color, it would change to that color as well. But I'm just going to Control Z, and then, oh gosh, I think that was my background color. And then if you were to add an alpha channel and erase, so we're going to erase now. Also, I would recommend, most of the things we're going to be doing, we're going to be using the hardness 100. It just makes everything so much easier, and there's no blurring effect around it, because I kind of want everything to be done clear and cut. So yeah, so if I was to erase this, it would be transparent, and that's what the alpha channel does. It adds a transparent layer onto that image, instead of it just being like an image on its own when you're erasing it. Okay, so after we erase it, ta-da, like the white space is gone. Very easy. You can adjust this, the size right here. I'll typically recommend like dragging it, but if you want to manually type in the size or click to change it, you can do that as well. But I just wanted the brush to be big. Anyway, so moving on, what we're going to do next is we are going to also make sure that the body is centered. You can do that by going to Tools, Transform Tools, and Move, and just center it, but it's already centered, so I don't need to do that. If you follow my instructions properly, you wouldn't have to do that either. And then we're going to make sure that it's no longer selected, because if it's selected, the things we do would mess with what we've done so far. So we're going to go to Select and None, and then you can see that the running ants are now gone. So some of you may have like random little white specks on your screen if you did not clean it up properly, so you can use the eraser tool and manually fix that up. So, but I don't have that, so it's not a big issue for me. But moving on, you're going to go to File, Open as Layer, and you're going to open up another layer. Oh no, not Open as Layer. You're gonna open something separately. So you're gonna go to File, Open, and you're gonna open Dr. Bao JPEG, and then you're gonna click on Convert. Do not click on Keep. So after you do that, it should open up a separate tab on your GIMP software. And so we're gonna zoom in, because what we're going to do next, it would be best if you have it zoomed in. So after you do that, let's move back to the move tool. So we're going to be trimming out his head and pasting it onto the body with the shirt. So we're going to go to Tools, Selection Tools, and Intelligent Scissors. So that was what is this tool that we discussed. So if you were to click, it kind of just slowly starts trimming out the edge of his head by clicking the little dots. And once you are done, you want to make sure that you connect the last dot that you have with the last dot that you have with the first dot that you began with, and then you will click enter and it should have running ants. But I'll show you guys in just a moment once I'm done. So yeah, so as you can see in the head part, because see, like, it's so smart because okay, it's not as smart as you want it to be, but like, see, it kind of does it on its own because of the strong color contrast. It kind of does a curvature on your own. And then when you hover, it has this little plus sign on your cursor. That means it's adding a point, but when you're going like this, it's connecting it. It's like two little circles. That means connecting. So we're going to connect it, and then we're going to click enter, and it's going to have running ants around his face. So after we do that, also, again, like what I said, I recommend zooming in, because if you don't have it zoomed in, it's much harder, and the scissor select tool might not work as well. Anyways, we're going to zoom back out again. And after you finish doing that, we're going to copy his face. So you're going to right click on the image, and then hover over edit, and then copy. And then you're going to go back to your layer, and sorry, I meant, oh shoots. You're going to go back here, and then you're going to so you're going to go back here, and you're going to right click, and then you are going to go back to edit again, and then you're going to do paste as new layer. So now it should paste the selection tool that you had here as a new layer, and then we're just going to deselect here so it doesn't have this floating. Actually, no, it's fine. I was gonna say we might need it again, but I don't think so. So now you can see that his head is not really proportionate with the body, so we're just going to fix that by using transformation tools and scaling again. So you're going to go to tools, transform tools, scale, and then we're just going to make his head, the width of his this image, to like 115. That's what I typed in. So okay, something like that. And then we're going to, again, because your scaling tool is still selected, if you were to click on it again, it will scale it again. So we're gonna go back to move, which you can go to tools, transform tools, and move, or you can use a shortcut. So I use a shortcut. So we're just gonna kind of line his head up towards the body, like reasonably where it would be. So I'm just gonna put it right here. I would recommend following my instructions and putting it like around here, just so it's not like super far off, because the things we're going to do next, if it's really far away, it wouldn't really work. Anyways, moving on. So you're going to now merge down, so to combine his head, as you can see in the layer, his head with the body. So you are going to right click on the head, the pasted layer, and you're going to merge down. I think I did not click to merge down. I'm sorry. So merge down. Oh yeah, I actually deleted the layer. Oops. So after you merge down, we are going to duplicate this. So right click on that and then duplicate layer, and then let's make two of this. So duplicate the background again, and then put it in between and just merge down on each of them. So now you should have two. So one, and they're the exact same. So yeah, so two of this. Okay, And so using one of them, we can just do, let's just do the one that's not a copy. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use a heal tool. So let me show you guys what the heal tool is. So heal and the clone tool is going to be a tool that we use to paint over one part of the image over another part of the image. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to be duplicating an example of this would be you can duplicate or remove an object from an image. So how to use it is you will first select the source that you want to copy or duplicate from. So you'll do that by holding down Command on Mac or Control, which I'm on PC by the way, and then you hold down. So I'll show you guys. So you first go to Tools, Paint Tools, and we're gonna use Heal, and then let me zoom in more. And then I'm gonna make my brush size smaller as well, and then that's too small. That's too big. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna click on Control, and I'm gonna click to select. And once I click Control and click on where I want to copy from, it should remain. That's where I will be copying from. And so after I do that, I can either click and drag, or I can just simply click over. So if I click and drag, you can see that the top part is moving along, and that means that the part that's duplicating is also just copying from here. So for example, if I keep going, it would kind of just start duplicating everything that's beyond that point. But I don't really want that. I kind of want it to be consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep clicking. Actually, am I going to keep clicking? I'm actually going to make my brush size a little smaller. Yeah, that's much better. And I'm just going to basically heal over his eyebrows and his mouth. So right now I'm dragging and kind of slowly dragging. You don't want to drag too much, because if it starts going to his hair, then the brush will come out black and stuff like that. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. But after you are done, you are going to we're now going to make him sad. So we're done. So we're going to go back to our paintbrush tool, and we're going to change the size of the brush to 10. So you can manually type 10. Did I say 10? Yeah, size 10. And again, remember your hardness, you want your hardness to be on 100. It's just easier. It makes everything sharper, but if you want to use a different hardness, it's fine. Anyways, so we're going to make him sad. So we're going to make this really, oh gosh, sorry, it's on the erase tool. No, it's not. Sorry. So right now, because my foreground color is purple, again, like what I explained earlier, foreground would be the paintbrush color. So right now it's on purple. So we're just going to go back to default color, which is right here. So we're going to make it black. We're just gonna make him very sad. Oh no. Okay. After you've done that, we are going to swagify him. So we don't want him to be sad anymore, and by doing that, and a way to do that is by swagifying him. So we're now basically done with him. So what we can do is we can name this layer to just kind of understand what's happening. And so when I refer to the layers, I can just call it by its name. So I'm going to rename it by going to layer attributes and just naming it sad_Ogawa. You don't have to do this, but it will just help you understand what's happening. And then also this is a way to hide the image type. Anyway, so here is the one that he is not sad in. And what we're going to do is we're going to make him swag. So we're going to go to File, Open as Layer, and then you're going to open the Chains cartoon. Okay, and the reason why it's not showing is the Z order list. So because can I make this bigger? Okay, so because my Chains cartoon is underneath the background, and the background is not transparent, and also it's just covering everything, it's just gonna cover everything. But if I put this above, it's going to show, if that makes any sense. So we want that above, so just make sure that it's above. Yeah, self-explanatory. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit just so everything is showing. 66 better, yeah. And then we're going to just do kind of what we did with the shirt earlier. So we're going to first scale this so it's bigger. So tools, transform tools, scale. We're gonna drag this to the corner and then do it again with the bottom corner, and then just scale. And after you've done that, we're going to go to tools, paint, no, not selection tools, color select, click on this, and you can see that the running ants are here again. And then you are going to go and erase everything. So erase, make the brush size bigger, and you're just going to erase everything. And then after you've done that, make sure that the select is still on none, so the running ants are gone. And then you are going to go to your move tool. So as you can see, it's not really matched up. It's covering a lot of his face, and you don't really want that. You want him to, you know, show his face, because that's the swaggiest part of Dr. Ogawa. Let's go. Okay, so we are going to now just kind of move and adjust where it is. Okay, that's not what I want to do. So also, when you're moving something, you want to make sure that this little pointy part, like this little selection tool, is clicking on what you want to move. So we're just going to make sure that it's doing that. And I'm just going to put it right over here. Sure, put that right here, I guess. Okay, so as you can see that now the image is there, but it's kind of like crooked and it's blocking his face still, and it's really not matching up. So we're just going to quickly fix this by using like the erase and paintbrush tool to fix it. So I'm going to first go to erase, make the brush size a little smaller, and I'm just going to like kind of erase this hat so his face is showing a bit more. And then I'm also going to, let's make this smaller, to just kind of fix his beard. It's right here, so yeah. You want his lips to be showing, you know. And then his nose, so like, you don't need to do this, but I would recommend, especially if you're doing a poster contest. And then we're going to use the paintbrush tool, just kind of paint in like the little missing aspects of his beard. So this is kind of ugly, I don't like it. So good enough. And then I'm just going to fix the bottom part as well. Ooh. Okay, okay, yeah, so also, when you have the image selected, it will be the only part that you can edit in. So you can see this little toolbox. So I can't really draw outside of here. But if I have this part selected, I can like edit this overall part. So I'm going to do that. So paintbrush, and I'm just going to kind of fix this shirt part. Especially this part, since it's super not matched up. Okay. Good enough, I think. Is there anything else I want to fix? Okay, I think I'm spending too much time on this. Okay. Anyways, sorry. Okay. I gotta relax. Okay, so after that, we are going to ensure that he's swag. So what we're going to do next is we are going to just go to your selection tool, and then what we're going to do is we're going to merge this down. So now we have one of him swagified and one of him sad. I'm gonna make this. Sorry, I'm gonna make this. Okay. I just want to fix this. Okay, whatever. I don't know why I'm taking this so seriously. Anyways, so here I'm going to duplicate him, like. Actually, I don't need to. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Yeah, we'll deal with that later. So you can either make everything you want at once and then merge together, or you could make everything, make it and then merge, and then make it and then merge. So I'm gonna make everything first and then merge down, I guess. Whatever. Okay, so you're going to open as layer, and then you're going to open the stamp PNG, and you're going to we're gonna scale this. So tools, transform tools, scale, and then you're going to make this like 650, size 650, the width of it, and then scale it, and then you're going to move this. Sorry, it's not selected. move this like around here. It doesn't have to be perfect, somewhere around here. And then after you've done that, we're going to duplicate this layer. So you're going to duplicate this twice. Actually, no, don't do that yet. So I did this in class too. So after you've duplicated that, there should be 2 of this. So after you've done that, you want to flip one of the stamps. So we're going to go to Tools, Transform Tools, and Flip, and you're going to click on your stamp, and then you can see that one is flipped and one isn't. So this one is flipped and then this one isn't. Anyways, moving on. So now we're going to duplicate the flipped one. So it should say PNG copy. That would be the one that you probably flipped because that was on top. But either way, the one that was flipped, you would duplicate that layer again, and then you are going to move it to its respective place. So I'll show you guys where you move it. So one would be around like the top corner, and then the other one would be the bottom corner. Something like that. I'm gonna make it like a different area just to kind of make it not super like the same. But you don't need to do this, just something around that. Okay, so after you've done that, we're going to put text in each of the boxes. So first we are going to go to Tools, Paint Tools, and is it Paint Tools? I don't remember. Transform Tools? Wait, no. What? Oh, it's just Tools and Text. Sorry about that. You can do that, or you could go to your shortcuts. I'm just going to do shortcuts, and then I'm going to make the text box, and we are going to type in the first text box, certified, sorry, I don't know how to spell apparently, certified, and then we're also going to make this size 90, and then, yeah. Also, make sure that your font is this. You can locate it by clicking on this text box, not text box, this image, and you can just kind of scroll. Or you can manually type in. Or you can manually type in your text, in the name of the text. But I would recommend just scrolling and finding it because it sometimes gives you errors for like problems and stuff like that. Anywho, so we're just move this. Sorry, move this kind of like right in here, and then we're going to rotate it in a bit, but let's just make all the text boxes first. So right here, in here, and then we're just going to do swaggist, and then we're going to make the change, so highlight all the text again inside, and then change to 90, and then we're going to do that again, so professor, and then going to do that to 90, and then we're going to use the move tool to kind of just move the text. So I'm going to move that here, and then move the text of Swaggist right here, and then after you've done that, we're going to go to Tools. This is a skill I didn't really go over during class, but you're going to go to Transform Tools and then Rotate, and then when you click on your text box, you could then rotate your text box. So yeah, so rotate, and then you'll do the same here. Oh wait, rotate, and then, oh sorry, so because professor is selected, it's not going to let you change the other one, so we're going to click on Swaggist, and now you can see that Swaggist is the one being selected, and you're going to rotate, and then you're going to go to certified, and then rotate that as well, and then rotate. And then now it's all rotated. I'm just going to move professor a little bit towards the center, but also showing, so like I guess towards the left a bit, and then certified. Okay, there. So after we've done that, we're going to now combine the stamps with the text. So first we're going to, we can first hide everything. That was how I showed you guys in class. So you're going to go to find, so we're going to do professor first, and we're going to find the stamps. It kind of shows what is shown within the layer, but so you can either do that and just quickly locate it. So I can quickly locate that this is the matching one, and what we're going to do is I'm going to hold and grab this one, and I'm going to drag it underneath, and I'm going to merge down, and so now this stamp is together, combined with professor. And then moving on, we are going to do the one with Swaggist. Actually, Let's do it where the stamp is on top, because if you were to merge down the name of, so merge down, no, sorry, professor, so merge, why is that letting me, oh, I have to show it, sorry, and then merge down, and so now it's gonna be called professor, and that's the one. And then we're going to find the same one, so this one would be Swaggus, so we're gonna merge down here, and then the name on the bottom would be the name that's saved. So for example, if I had stamp PNG on the bottom and the name on top, the name that will be saved will be stamp PNG copy 1. But I think it's just better because the text box helps for you to identify what layer it is. So we're going to do the same again for this one. So we're going to merge down. Okay, so by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but you right click on the layer that you want to merge down. So you merge down, and then now we have the 3 text boxes, and then also the swagged out professor and the sad professor. So what we're going to do next is we are going to duplicate 3 copies of professor, swagged out professor. So we're going to now move each one. Move each one to the top, and then we're going to merge down for each one. So now it would have, not like that. Okay, so that has to be on top. So it has to be on top. That's the Z order. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna merge down now. So you're going to first merge the Swaggus down, and now it's combined. If that makes any sense. And then you will do the same thing with professor. So you'll merge down, and then you're gonna do the same thing with certified. So then you will merge down. Imagine my mic isn't on. I really hope my mic is on. Oh god. I hope it's on because I've been filming for like 15 minutes. Anyways, so you will have all of this. You can see by like removing each layer. And then, so what we're going to do next is we're pretty much done. So we're going to export this. So this would be the order of the GIFs being shown. So if when you export as a GIF, this would be the first image shown. This would be the second, third, fourth, fifth. So we want it to say in order certified, so I guess professor, so that would be the order. That's the correct order. And then after you are done, we are going to go to file and then go to export as. Do not do save, because if you were to save, it will not allow you to change the extension type. So you're going to go to export as, select file type, and then you are going to locate GIF image, and then we're going to change this to I'm just gonna name this as tutorial something like that. But you don't, either way, we did this in class. I made you guys name it your name, whatever your name was, and then swagdified Ogawa or something like that. But either way, so we're going to click on export now, and then click on crop, and then check off as animation. Make sure that this is what you have checked off and what you don't have checked off, and then have changed this to 400 milliseconds. So that's the amount of time each layer will be shown within the GIF. If you had 100, it would just completely flash through everything, but 400 would be a pretty good pace. So you're gonna click export, and it's just gonna load. It'll take a second to just do its thing. And I'll show you guys the result in just a moment. Sorry, it's taking a moment. It's loading. I hope everyone's doing good today. Okay. That was awkward. Anyways. So that's not it. Okay. Sorry, give me a second. Would it be in downloads? No, it would not be in downloads. It would be, sorry, I'm trying my best. Documents? Okay, yeah, it's right here. So that would be the result. It's pretty great. I'll probably show this on my TA meeting today in Flex. Anyways, moving on. So after we're done with that, we're just going to move it to the side or whatever, and then we're going to continue to the next activity. So the next activity, actually, I'm gonna close this tutorial and then check if my mic is on.